Have another beer, buddy.
Chatty chat. I think that they probably said that being shorter is advantageous.
Well, they need to teach me then. There you go. So we had to poke a little fun at him. Call you Ginger Swag.
Yeah. If you weren't bowlers, what would you have liked to have done instead? Anything else. Literally anything else.
That's a great answer.
The horse is so dead that it's on some kid's school project on a landfill already.
And there you have
it.
No. We'll talk in Joe.
Terrible idea.
I know, she's home. Measles. I know measles. I know.
What's going on, everybody?
What is up?
A couple weeks off. Felt like it's been forever since our last show.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Christmassy backgrounds.
I'm liking it.
Some of these are like video backgrounds.
Oh, wow. That's distracting.
Yeah. It's trippy. We'll just go snowflakes.
Wow, you're on opposite sides of the screen.
Yep.
Yeah. Things are different. We'll explain why, as you can tell in the title. All right. So let people filter in here for Uno Momento. I like that one. That was pretty.
Yeah. Look out. All right. Let me see here.
I had a Santa hat on. I was fully prepared to wear, everybody. Just be festive, but it was too damn hot. I was already sweating before the show started, so we're going to go ahead and just bail out of that idea. Hard pass. I promise I wasn't lying. It's right here. I might slide it back on. All right. No more basement set? Well, we will get into that too.
All right.
Is Merry Christmas to you and your families. Tim, Merry Christmas to you and your families as well. Or your family. Families, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for Christmas. I know not everybody that watches me do Christmas, but I'm pretty excited. Nothing better than lighting up little kids' faces on Christmas morning with toys and gifts or whatever. So looking forward to that, and also spending time with all my family. Get to go see each and every one of them, and I hope you all do the same as well.
Eligible player.
You got any Christmas plans, Luke?
Not really, actually. It's going to be fairly quiet. I'm taking kind of a vacation that's not a vacation really. So I work from home on Wednesdays and Thursdays, and I work 4 9s and a 4, and so I'm in the office Monday, Tuesday, home Wednesday, Thursday, and then I work from 6:30 to 10:30 on Friday morning. So I'm taking this Friday off. Okay. So home today, home tomorrow, Friday's off, Monday's off for the holiday. I also took Tuesday off. And so then I'll be back working from home again next Wednesday and Thursday. So I'll be home for like 8 or 9 days straight. But I probably should have taken next Friday off too, just to really extend it. But you know, going in for a few hours on Friday is not going to hurt anybody. So,
you guys bowl this Friday?
Yes, we do.
Really? This must be the Christmas party night.
Last week was the Christmas party, and what's really funny is nobody brought anything.
Really?
Like there was, Angel made sandwiches, and there was some people that made some like little, the little smokies with the croissants, and then somebody made some meatballs, and then Angel took some little mini sandwiches on the Hawaiian rolls.
Oh yes, those are good.
That was it. And then they do the little girl guy gift exchange when you strike or whatever. 3 people brought stuff.
Oh no.
So I took a gift, James took a gift, and some other guy had something up there, and then Angel and a couple of the other women. So there was it was miserable.
The year I bowled, Raylan got the pick, so she obviously picked out the biggest gift that was up there, and it was
Yeah.
freaking toilet paper.
Yeah,
It was a giant thing of toilet paper.
it's probably, I think it was 2020, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Say that.
Yeah, it was Christmas 2020.
I guess people think I'm an ass. What do you think?
Hilarious. Yeah, well,
Oh, that's great. Yes, it was. It was a giant thing of toilet paper too.
yeah, so we can talk about all kinds of things. So the basement set is getting renovated, redone. We did see the leaked letter about the Black Hammer that we'll talk about, and that I'm going to talk about a little bit. Staffers are why we can't have nice things. See, if there's some people that the companies don't really share a whole lot with the staffers anymore, because anytime they do, they just leak it. And so everybody, well, they just, they need to tell us more and they need to inform us more. It's like, when they do, you guys can't keep your mouth shut. So that's why they don't talk to us.
Yep.
So
that's exactly right.
So yeah, this is and from what I hear about the Black Hammer too, somebody said, yeah, this is about the last time that we're gonna let you guys know anything. So,
and from what I understand, the B7 family was pretty pissed about it. So
yeah, because it's a different situation, because it's one that they've got it coming in a few months and they don't quite have enough through production yet, but they wanted to make it available, so they went ahead and got it approved, and they want to make it available to their players, for their professional players, for the start of the season. And so that's basically what they said. You guys, if you guys aren't bowling PBA or you're not bowling regionals, please don't order this ball yet, but we're going to let you in the know. We're going to tell you about it so that when you see these things being thrown, you'll know what's going on, but we just don't really want to say a whole lot at the moment. But yeah, now it's.
Yeah. Yes, Russo does have a black and white video of it up.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you can tell the way it rolls. It's urethane. So
yeah.
But yes, there is a video of it up on Russo's personal, or I don't know if it's his personal Facebook or if it's his athlete page. But yeah, he's got one up. I saw that right before we came on. I was like, it must be the new urethane ball.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some. You mentioned something about the PBA League. We can talk about that, because there was some drama with the PBA League. So I'm gonna.
Yep. Then there's something else. Yeah, set redesign. Our set is, from what I understand, is completely torn up right now. So.
Yeah. It's completely dismantled. We rearranged a lot of the shelves in the basement because we moved my car down to the detached, and so we have that whole bay that's like a pro shop bay now. And so we changed all of our rack and storage stuff in the basement. And so yeah, we're gonna paint the wall. We're gonna plug all the holes in it or whatever. And we've got some of the beer signs that are going back up, and we're gonna reposition that storm sign, because all it does is just reflect the frickin' lights everywhere. So we're gonna reposition that. We got some other fun signs that we're gonna put up, and we're gonna paint the wall. And so yeah, we'll have, next time we have a show, we'll be back down on the set, and it'll be new. So
new, and it's going to be a little bit too. We need to discuss that too.
Yeah,
we mentioned it in our last show a little bit after Packy and Zach joined us. And once again, thank you to Packy and Zach for joining us last show. That was a lot of fun.
that was a good show.
Both those guys even said I didn't know what I was going to get myself into, and when they got on here, they thought that we actually acted like a couple professionals. Like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, once again, thank you to those guys for hanging out with us. But we are taking the month of January off. So not just our last show for the year, but the month of January, we are taking a sabbatical, I guess what you could say.
Mm-hmm.
So the set can get redesigned, and we got some family stuff going on. Also lets us have a chance to recharge the batteries, because once again, there's not a lot going on in the bowling world these days. When we come back, though, full of PBA action. So have plenty to talk about. And then I'll also put a poll up in our Facebook group when we get a little closer to see if you guys want us to continue going on Wednesday nights. If you'd like to see us go on Monday nights, or go back to Monday nights, that is, because we're both good either way. It doesn't matter, whatever night's convenient for everybody. We obviously love everybody that watches the show on a normal basis. We would love it if you could catch us live. So if you catch us live, that'd be even better. So stay tuned. You'll see a poll coming up for that soon.
Yep. My daughter lives in Pennsylvania, and we see them once a year, and they normally come for 2 weeks in January. And so I think they're going to get here on the 6th or something, and they'll be here until the 20th or whatever. And so we got to do some prep for that. We got to get through kind of the end of the year. There's still always videos and all kinds of other stuff to do. And then they're going to be here, and hopefully, plus we should be getting the prizes out for the Doggo fundraiser. The prizes, Angel has got them all set up. I think she actually shipped a few of them today. She's got a few more to do that she'll ship, and we should be good on that stuff here for too long. But yeah, we still got to go out there, and we've got to get the paint, we got to get the spackle, and we got to get the whatever else. And so we actually have to get that done. And so it's just a lot of stuff going on, and so yeah, it's just giving us a little bit of time to get that done and not have to mess with it. So
we'll be back.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be back. Coming back full throttle, baby. Full throttle.
Tobias said that the 2024 US Open patterns were released too. I did see something from Wriggles on that.
I have not seen that yet. Is it on? Now you got me curious. I'm going to look here real quick. You said Wriggles you saw?
Yeah, Wriggles posted the...
Wriggles. Okay. Ah, yes, he sure did. And Team USA trials lane patterns as well.
Yeah.
Since when do they ever release the US Open patterns that far in advance?
They don't. This is kind of different.
It's because they've been catching all that crap about transparency. Mm-hmm. Does that mean they're going to post the USBC Open Pattern Championships ahead of time too? Just out of curiosity.
Probably not. People would scream. I don't know. People are going to scream about it either way. People just don't understand. If they release them early, then all the pros and people can lay the patterns down and practice on them before they come out. And, and they'll have the advantage that way. And it's like, well, they have the advantage because they can figure it out better than the average bowler can anyway. So they have more of an advantage with the patterns not being released than they do with them being released. Plus, people even get in there and they'll bowl the bowler's journal and whatever in the team practice session. Then they'll get on the tournament lanes and say, "Oh, well, these were nothing. That couldn't have been the pattern. They were nothing like the tournament actually played." And it's like, okay, well, it's in this. They're being, the bowler's journal and whatever else. It's in the same building with the same oil, with the same lane machines. At the same time virtually that you're bowling the tournament. So if that doesn't help and that's not close enough to the tournament lanes, then how is somebody laying it down in their center with a different lane machine and different oil on different lane surface in a different part of the country? How's that going to help them out? It just, bowlers don't stop and logic stuff often enough.
Nobody said bowlers were smart.
Yeah.
There's some out there that are not smart, and then there's some out there that aren't smart at all. I mean, you give me a double whammy on that.
So,
but yeah, I did not know they were posting the the US Open patterns ahead of time. That was new to me. So
yeah, I will save these. There is a little blurb on 11thframe.com. It says, "We're making this change because Rob Gottschall, USBC's director of short duration tournaments, will soon be leaving his role at USBC for a new opportunity working for a ball manufacturer. Since Rob was a key person involved with the event, we want to prevent any perception that this transition could impact the fairness of the competition. Therefore, USBC determined the best path was to share the patterns with you now." So I don't know who he's going to go work for, but if he worked for one of the, since he obviously knows what the patterns are, if he goes to this certain manufacturer, then he can, share the pattern information with their bowlers.
Yeah.
So it sounds like this is just a one-time deal.
Kind of wonder if he's going to go be a tour rep somewhere. I could see him being a tour rep somehow.
Yeah, seeing as how he used to do that. He worked for Ebonite for a long time.
That's right.
And that's kind of his element, I think. So
Maybe he's going to be like a director of tour. I don't know. No, because like on the B7 site, well, because Storm just brought Jim Callahan just got promoted, right?
Yeah, Jim Callahan's the PBA Tour manager now. He's their player manager, period, or the PBA Tour head honcho
For SBI
Storm.
in general, right?
Yeah.
And then who's the guy that they've had? Has been a long time running for the Brunswick family. I can't think of his. I can picture his face.
Chuck Gardner.
Yeah, Chuck Gardner. Is he still in that role?
Yeah. No, I think Chucky's still around. So,
okay.
Now Rob may.
He's going to Swag.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think he'd be going to Motive or anything like that because Spangler. That's kind of Spangler's deal. And I know that Matt McNeil's not with the women's tour anymore.
Oh, really?
They moved him. I think the last time we talked to him on the Bowler Show, he said that they're kind of moving him from that. He was kind of the head rep for the PWBA, and they moved him off of that. So
I did not know that. That's now that you say it, I think I did know that. I just didn't. I didn't remember that. Yes, I do recall something about that now.
Might have to see. So this says the 2024 U.S. Open patterns are the same ones used at the 2023 U.S. Open. The only difference is that patterns 1 and 3 in 2024 were patterns 3 and 1 in 2023. So they just switched them up. So
interesting. Sorry, I'm fixing my microphone.
Yeah,
here.
That's PDF. Yeah.
Sorry if you could hear me playing with my mic there. I was adjusting my monitors here, adjusting the sound.
I'm just gonna cheat here.
Cheat away. I've got a lot of feedback here.
PNG.
There we go.
Come on.
What's up, y'all? Bowling League tonight. Sweet, Richard. Good luck to you, buddy. Shoot some big scores. How about that? Pattern 3 and 4. Woof. Buller's Logic. What's that?
Yeah. Richard, who's your favorite little rascal?
Should we throw up our chat overlay? You think it'll
split? Yeah. Let me do that. I've got to keep going back and forth because it doesn't fit on the. Whenever I do our league stream with James every Thursday, the chat window kind of screws everything up, and I keep forgetting to, put it up there and then take it back down. So, chat over.
Not to ruin your your stream for tomorrow, but congratulations to you guys on wrapping up the first half of the Medlin for 2023-24. Congrats, that's awesome. We're still kind of we went through a couple weeks in a rut there, but we got 31 last week. So
yeah, that's freaking huge. And you guys are still in, and especially because you guys were behind Trevor.
Yeah.
And we got 21.5 from them. So they got 10.5. So you made up, almost 20 points on them, or 20. Yeah. Just pretty well 20 points on them.
I don't remember how far back we were of them though, but we should make a decent jump, and we easily could be a top 3 finish if we finish strong this week.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll take that. Jonathan, what's in the glass? This is just what did I pour? I think it's just Jack. I don't remember. I poured it a long time ago, and I've just been kind of sitting there. Currently, Maker's Mark on the ice here. I do love me some Maker's Mark.
I've got some fun stuff that I'm going to dip into here in a second. Trevor brought me a bottle, and it's stuff that I haven't heard of before, and it's apparently only for Kansas.
Oh, cool. All right.
So
for those that also, while he's playing around getting stuff up for the PBA League here, I did drill a big time here recently, for those that don't know, and I actually really like that bowl a lot. It was one that I had. It was a gift for a birthday gift, I think is what it was, and that ball surprises me because it's really, really long, but it's pretty good. Luke can attest. He's seen me throwing it. It looks pretty good for me. So
yeah. So It's called Nulu. It's finished in toasted barrels. And it's a Kansas exclusive. This very small batch of 4 to 6 year MGP bourbon whiskey was blended to give consistent flavor in each batch, then finished in toasted barrels anywhere from 1 to 4 weeks. So yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know.
It save me a swallow.
Yeah, it does kind of taste a little bit like the Oak and Eden. It's not quite as the smoke flavor isn't quite as intense, but it's solid.
Well, hopefully I'm over drilling some balls here soon. Hopefully Mr. Santa brings me at least one ball for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really wanting a Theorem. Theorem looks amazing. So
yeah, once again, I don't get
nice things.
Yeah, I don't get other company envy much, but the Theorem is one of them because it looks like an X Factor.
Yes, it does. Exactly what it looks like down lane. I mean, if you get envy of anything, you got envy of the Envy Tour and the Theorem they both look phenomenal. I just see, all I know is that Theorem looks, it's violent off when it sees friction, just absolutely violent. So.
All right. So what do we? Yeah. I got the PBA League stuff. I got the patterns up. So what do we want to talk about here first?
Let's dive into the U.S. Open patterns here real quick, since that was already brought up, and then I think the PBA League can be a little more of a discussion then, because we're both got some points, especially when it comes to the draft side of things.
So here's the PTQ pattern. This doesn't look terrible, except for the oil volume is crazy.
That font is tiny.
Yeah, it looks fairly. I don't know. It actually looks less difficult than it is on paper. It's pretty flat because it's 2 to 1 basically. There's a little more volume on the left side. It's a little flatter, but that just kind of gives them the rail. Realistically,
32 mils is quite a bit of volume.
Yeah, 32 mils, 40 feet. And so this isn't going to be a fun pattern, but I think this is going to be just a urethane fest. It looks like to me. I think that they did this at the Masters last year. They tried to ramp up the volume and take urethane out of play, but all that does is force people to the rail into urethane. So I think the Theorem is stronger than the X2 there, Clint.
That's what I just said in there. It says I think it'll be more responsive when it sees friction. My X2 it's when it sees friction it goes, but it's a slower go. How about that?
Yeah. I think it's plus. I think the Theorem cover or the core is stronger.
It is. At least I think, anyways. Is this pattern 5? Is that this font is totally small for me? Is that 5?
What's that? This is number 5. This is the PTQ pattern.
Oh, okay, cool.
And the tank configuration is B only, so it's ice oil, so it's ice. It's 32 mils. 55 microliters. That's interesting. 55 UL microliters of oil per board. Normally it's like 40 or 50. This is 55. So it's just there's a bunch of oil. But I mean, you might also see they may not necessarily use urethane, but they're going to be using 500 grit gems and just masterminds and super crazy. Mindset.
You're going to see a lot of chalk.
Yeah, all the big chalky, tanky stuff. So
yep, exactly right.
Let's see, number 1. All right. So here's number 1. This is
flat,
nasty. This is it's basically red square. It's 39 feet, 1 to 1. This is where you're going to see the urethane at.
If you're not seeing urethane, you're still going to see, in my opinion, balls like you just said the mindset. You're still going to see some mindsets and slow balls going down the lane, big slow balls.
Yeah, you're going to see big chalky, slow stuff. Definitely.
That looks absolutely freaking awful.
Yeah.
That looks like I want to watch you bowl while I drink beer.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. It was kind of funny when I got into the when I went and bowled the PTQ when it was in Wichita a few years ago, 2017, 2018.
Mhm.
I was a little disappointed because I was like 70 pins out of the cut, but I missed 11 single pins. I easy math would have gotten me into it, but then I watched what they actually bowled on, and I'm like, man, sitting here and watching this and getting half of my entry fee back is a whole lot cooler than actually making it into the field. Who would have thought?
Yeah, because then you got to beat your head against the wall even more.
Yeah, that was the year that Pete Weber withdrew too.
Oh yeah, yes. Truthfully, if I had to pick my favorites tournaments of the year, and of course they're going to be majors, right? But the Masters and the U.S. Open. The U.S. Open to me, I still feel like is the prestigious one. Like it's the freaking U.S. Open. But the one thing I do love about the Masters is the Masters format is just it's so cool with the double LM match play. It's just it's a fun tournament. But the U.S. Open is just so dang hard.
Yes, this one's nasty. Pattern 2.
The middle finger.
Yeah. This one's interesting because it's very, very light volume outside of that strip down the middle. And so that's where everybody's going to be playing. And if you're not, your angles are going to get crazy. And if you like cross that, say you're super far left, well, you're going to be clipping the dry on the left side, and then you're going to hit that wash of oil in the middle, and then you're going to be hitting friction outside, so the ball's just going to wiggle all the way down the lane. It's 43 feet, and so sometimes that can 27 mils, which is still on the higher end, but still, when it's 43 feet, the length can fake you out and make it feel like there's more volume than there is, and just create over-under nightmares.
Yeah, I've got myself caught up with that at times where it looked something similar with those numbers when it comes to distance and mills. So,
and part of this too, something else that I noticed is that a squad player, the first squad of the day, plays wildly different from the third squad of the day, because as the patterns go down several times, it gets
tighter usually.
Yeah, it just looked. I can remember the first squad of the day, even with the same pattern, looking totally different than the last squad of the day. And I think that's why a lot of the bowlers don't come in and watch, because they go bowling the practice patterns, or they do the practice just to kind of get loose and get a general idea. But then they don't go in and watch the other squads because it may or may not give them any help. So it's just, show up, bowl on what's there. Don't go in with any preconceived notions or, oh, I've got this figured out, or I'm going to use this ball, or I'm going to stand here. So, yeah.
Love the middle finger pattern.
Yep. Pattern 3.
Gross.
49 feet. There's not a lot of buff.
49 feet and 31 mils. Is that right?
Yeah. 49 feet, 31 mils. So it's just heavy, long.
Chalk.
This one might end up being more scoreable because they're not going to have to worry about the ball screaming sideways. It's just going to be oil.
It's going to be chalk again, though.
Yeah, it's one of those. Now it's flat. It's flat again.
It is flat, very flat.
And the outside 3 boards have 0 oil on them. So this is going to be one of those, one of these crazy things that I think that this is going to be fairly scoreable. I think this is going to be one of the more scoreable ones of the bunch because it's just not going to hook. And so they're going to be able to just kind of point it. And I can see Simo just obliterating this pattern.
It's not the same pattern, obviously, but it kind of, I feel like they're going to play very similar to how they played in Wichita this last year for the tour stop that was there. Remember how much, I don't know if you remember, go back and recall, Simo did win that tournament too, by the way.
Yeah.
It's the one where nobody could find hook anywhere. It's just literally slow roll the crap out of big, chalky, heavy balls. Yeah. If you remember right, I think Simo was just giving it a heater at the head pin.
Yeah. Yeah. He was just pointing it off the corner.
Yeah. That's what I thought. So I could definitely see Simo this being a day he goes. I don't know if he's going to go big because that's just a pattern that I don't see anybody going big on. But I could see him having a solid block here.
And then number 4, this one's weird because there's a speed bump.
Yep.
So it's technically 41 feet, but they're only oiling to 25, and then you have that little speed bump there for 5 or 6 feet. And it's still 29 mils, so it's really, really heavy in the fronts. You got that little bit of speed bump right there at 25 feet. And so if you get offline, that's going to create some havoc because the ball could dig, if you're playing too far outside, then the ball could start hooking between 15 and 25 feet and then skid for an extra 6 and then start digging back in again. So yeah, but it's the US Open. You want to put the tough stuff down and make people earn it.
Yep.
So, I mean,
I could maybe see some urethane going down in this pattern.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of urethane, and it's going to be interesting to see with no more pitch black and no more purple hammer.
You're going to see on the Brunswick side. You're going to see a lot of that new blue for sure.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens with this black hammer.
Yeah,
it must be something decent if they're rushing so much to get it out there to give them maybe a different option.
Kendall said this pattern looks like someone's kid made it in Microsoft Paint.
Yeah.
It looks like I made it in Microsoft Paint.
Yeah, that's just...
But I am somebody's kid, so that makes it...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's brutal. So good luck to everybody bowling that. Hope you go back and drink a little beer afterwards because you're going to need it.
Yeah. So, yeah. Let me see. Does it have... Yeah. The US Open will be January 27th through February 4th. And so, yeah, by the time we get back and have a show, the first show that we do in 2024 will probably be after that US Open. We might do one last week of January, depending, but probably going to be first week of February, first Monday, Wednesday of February.
I do go on a cruise in February, so it's like the last week of February, first part of March.
Okay.
So if we wanted to sneak one in that last week of January, I'm good with it. So
okay.
I mean, if I could stream and cruise with you guys at the same time,
yeah.
You're damn right I'd do it.
Mm-hmm.
But when is the PBA event in Wichita? Is that the?
Yeah, I think it's right. I think it's right in the middle of January because I was wanting to go down for it again, but I think the kids are going to be here. So
is that the 12th through the 14th by chance?
I don't know.
Because if that's the case, I'm going to be in Wichita already. Raylan's competing on Friday down there. I'm bowling the American Legion thing in Emporia, so I might have to make a trip to Wichita, go bowl, then come back to Wichita again. I need to look that up real quick.
Yeah, it's the 9th through the 15th, and it's the Players Championship. So
Players, yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's a little disappointing, but
I might have to make a trip down there because we're going down there. We're going to Andover, which Andover is basically Wichita. So if we could make it down there for like maybe a little bit of match, we bowl that night though. Damn. She doesn't compete till 3:00 that Friday, so maybe, just maybe.
Yeah, I don't know what it is with these frickin' schedules. Like every single time I have a chance to go to a local PBA tournament or PWBA tournament, we have something going on.
Yeah, I know.
I think there was one year that they had the PWBA was in Wichita, but that was the same weekend we were bowling Springfield.
Yep.
Or just some kind of something. Now, the Pete Weber Missouri Classic is from February 12th to the 18th in Springfield.
Now, I'm going to say something since you just mentioned that. Very big shout out, kudos to the PBA for doing that for Pete Weber and naming that tournament after him. That's a pretty dang cool thing.
Yeah.
He's an icon in the state of Missouri. A lot of people forget that he's from Missouri because he's from St. Louis, and it's basically Illinois. But very, very cool honor for him. The guy's done a lot in our game, and sometimes people just need to be recognized for that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Having a tournament in the PBA named after you with the national title strapped to it's pretty awesome. I was looking that up real quick. The January tournament.
Yeah.
It is the 9th to 15th.
Yeah, Masters is in Vegas. World Series of Bowling is in Allen Park, Michigan.
Schedule.
Arkansas. PBA Elite League doesn't happen until mid-September. So they are going to have I mean, this is a pretty long season. This is most of the year. And there's a few breaks in there.
No, they did a pretty good job of spreading things out this year. It's a much better schedule than what it was last year. These guys they bowl for 11. They need to be bowling.
Yeah.
So 100% need to be bowling. Yeah, I'm here asking the age-old question, Luke. Holiday doubles next year. Luke and I would like to do it. The tournament's sold out already, like Tobias said, but they're actually trying to form a Thursday night squad.
Mm-hmm. They need to fill that squad, but they said, "Yeah, we'll do it if we can fill it," and they're not going to have any trouble filling it.
I'd do it, but Thursday nights is the night we bowl, and it's hard to miss that league, and it's especially when we get to bowl when we're home. So
yeah.
But yes, one of these years, Luke and I will do it. Even if we don't, maybe we'll just go beat up Flanagan and let us sit there and bull crap with him.
Yeah. That's the thing is we can go and not make the cut, and then I'll just sit there with Flanagan and
just give me a beer and let me get the wireless mic and walk up and down, and I'll give him the golf talk.
Yep.
Just give him the Becky's on the front eight. I think he might have a shot at this. Pretty good look to the left. But I just used Packy as an example since he's with us last week.
Yeah. Arias.
Once again, our buddy Dylan Burns, that's actually the tournament that he set the USBC scoring record in at one point. He was then taken over and beaten by a guy that is in St. Louis. Mm-hmm. So they just come out with scores like crazy out in St. Louis. But that block that Dylan had in the holiday doubles is just freaking ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
He won last Sunday too, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
My knee still hurts from Saturday, just so you know. That approach was awful.
Yeah.
It was horrible. Did you see Klaus about go down the gutter? Well, he did go down the gutter.
Oh, yeah. He fell down a couple times.
It was awful. It was throwing a dead pin was like knee suicide.
Yeah.
So, and then I made some physical changes last night at League. I know we'll get back on it, but the physical changes, it's definitely the issues I've been having. It's 100% a timing thing.
Yeah.
I've definitely been getting really fast, and I slowed down a lot last night, and big difference. So let's see if that rolls over tomorrow night. Anyway, do you want to get into a little PBA League action?
Yeah, we can I'll pull up the teams first and then talk about them, and then we'll get into the notables that were on the draft board that didn't make it. Yeah. And then there's some interesting things to talk about because there was a lot of people that didn't get drafted that probably should have.
I've got some opinions on it.
Mm-hmm.
We definitely can talk about who the team we think is to beat too.
Mm-hmm. Jeff Poston put out something kind of interesting. Because he knows several of he knows Wesley Lowe and AJ Johnson and several of them pretty well.
Yeah.
And one of his points is like, okay, say that the team that wins the PBA League, say that all the players and the coach / manager or whatever get $1 million a piece. Do you think that the draft would have gone like that? Or do you think that they would have picked instead of kind of on the buddy system, which that happens in our draft league, but it's a league. There's some people that that are always going to pick other people to bowl with every single year. And it's a competitive league, but it is a league. It is a regular league on a house shot. This is the top of the top, most competitive, and you still have the same people kind of, ending up on teams very predictably. Let me say that. I think that we could have gone through and done a mock draft of the PBA League and gotten really close.
Oh, yeah. I mean, hell, that'd be a lot easier than the one we draft. And we didn't do bad at the one we did. So
yeah.
Which we should have done that. And honestly, it snuck up on me and I kind of forgot about it.
All right, I'm just gonna start popping these up here. So
What team we starting with here? The Dallas
the
Strikers.
Dallas Strikers, Norm Duke, and each of these managers were able to keep 2 players. So the top 2 players, Tommy Jones, Bill O'Neill, were on the Strikers last year. Tommy Jones has been on the Strikers forever.
Yes.
And so it's one of those things they can keep 2. So some of these players will be on these teams, obviously, and then there was a handful of players that could only be picked in the last round. Frank Snodgrass was one of those players. There was like 4 or 5 players that could only be picked in the last round for some reason.
Why?
I can't remember why, but I remember seeing something about that.
I gotta go back. And was it because he was outside of a certain number in points? Maybe.
Let me see.
I actually really like Snodgrass's game.
Yeah,
He's dating Jordan Richard, by the way, too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tobias mentions if you're not full-time on the tour the previous year, you shouldn't be eligible. Yeah, so a lot of these people are being picked based on where they were the previous year. And so I would agree that it's like, okay, if you're not full-time on the tour this year, but you're getting picked based on last year, that's fair game. But if you weren't even full-time on the tour last year, that's kind of a...
Yes. It's awful. So not to just bag on the guy because he's a legend in our game. Parker Bone shouldn't have been drafted in this league. Sorry, not sorry.
He doesn't bowl the. Yeah, and this is the thing is I don't understand how some of these, because I thought it was based on the previous year's like top 50 in points, and if you didn't bowl on the tour, how were you eligible?
There's got to be some fine print somewhere because, I mean, Walter Ray was being drafted for years after that.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say he was awful because he's one of the best ever. Some people say he's the GOAT, but and it's hard not to take him. But there was years that Walter Ray had no business being in the PBA League.
Yeah.
So to me, PBA 3 is manager. He picked himself. Yeah, but he still shouldn't be able to pick himself. He can be the manager. That's all he can be.
Yeah, I'm not sure I like the manager being able to be like a player manager. It should be you're a manager, and if you're a manager, you don't bowl.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because there's a handful of them.
Jason Belmonte's a player manager, but he's Jason Belmonte.
Yeah.
But it also is to me, in my opinion, it's a little bit of a, not really double-edged sword, but I don't think the players should be able to be a manager. You can't tell me somebody outside of the team they can't find enough managers for it. I mean, when they first started, they had celebrities being managers.
Oh, so, Andrew, actually, the Masters is in Vegas, March 24th through the 31st.
Yeah, you get a major out there.
At Suncoast. Why the hell is it at Suncoast?
Interesting choice. I thought the PBA had something worked out with South Point. Do we know if the managers are going to be traveling to each spot? Yes, they will be.
Yeah, that's kind of because it's going to be different this year because
because they're bowling each week.
Yeah, because they're bowling each week. So every stop they're going to have some league matches. So
yeah.
Oh, you want a PBA League stop? Okay.
Oh, Suncoast got new lane beds. Okay. All right. Still Suncoast though.
Mm-hmm.
Now I like Parker. I like him a lot. I mean, he's always going to be a legend of this game. Even as a manager, he shouldn't be eligible to draft himself. So it screws a lot of the guys out of there that should have been drafted. I mean, I'm going to use Sean Lavery Spar as an example. Sean Lavery Spar should be bowling on a PBA League team. Let's just get real.
Yeah.
There's no reason Sean Lavery Spar should not be bowling.
So, yeah. So, Norm took Sean Maldonado. He's been practicing a lot lately, and apparently he's gotten rid of the hop.
Really?
He does not. Yeah, he doesn't hop anymore. Somebody saw him bowling something the other day, and he doesn't hop anymore.
Well, we know he got rid of he took his thumb out.
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't use his thumb anymore. We know that.
Yeah, so he's made some changes, and apparently he's pretty sharp now. So
old Jakey Boy's been bowling well here the last couple of years. So Jakey Boy's a good pick.
Yeah, Jake kind of rededicated himself after his wife died, and so yeah, he's reaping the fruits of his labor, and especially after he came in cold.
Yeah.
I mean, he had like a day's notice when he had to fill in for somebody else last year or the year before or something like that. So the 6th round guys had to wait to get drafted because they have to bowl PTQs. Well, why why were they even on, if they have to bowl PTQs, then why were they even on the list in the first place?
Once again, that's an example of guys like Sean Lavery Spar didn't get drafted.
Yeah, I'm confuzzled.
I like Frank Snodgrass. I like his game a lot. Don't get me wrong. I've always enjoyed watching him bowl. I just don't understand why that guy is eligible over a guy that was like top 30 in points.
Yeah, so that's, or maybe that was one of the thing. Maybe the 6th round is just other people that are off. Maybe once you get down to the 6th round, you can draft whoever you want, whether they're on the board or not.
And I'm just so you guys know, I'm just using Sean as an example because he was one of the higher players point-wise that didn't get picked that absolutely should be bowling. He had a pretty darn good season. It was very consistent. So, I mean, no, you didn't see him on TV, but if you go back and look at the season he had, and you'll notice that he was pretty solid.
Yeah, so Butters, that's self-explanatory. Frank's a good bowler, so
yes,
yeah. So that's
AJ Chapman is another example. Yes.
Yeah, nothing against Frank whatsoever. It's just, I don't understand the rules. This is not Nom. This is bowling. There are rules. All right, let's move on here. Motown Russell, Couch kept EJ and Simo. I mean, those are probably the easiest 2 keepers on the list.
I mean, this is a team, for example, that Zach Tackett, he's obviously getting picked because his brother's on the team.
Mm-hmm.
Zach didn't have a bad year, but once again, he didn't have a better year than, and he's just, I'm not going to say what I want to say. I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah.
This is a damn good team though.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a sneaky good team, and nobody really knows who Justin Knowles is either, but I think you're about to.
He made a couple shows last year.
Yeah.
He made one.
Yeah, EJ and Simo, again, easiest 2 keepers. They're going to be on that team forever. Sam Cooley had a really good year. Jason Sterner, again, is kind of a quiet one, but I think he kind of thrives in that type of environment. And then Zach isn't as good as EJ, but he's still he can still hold his own. Let me put it that way. But
reminder though that Sam Cooley is now Motive.
Mm-hmm.
He's a Motive guy now.
Yeah, that's right. Let's see.
Sterner's a solid pick too. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Belmo. You got Belmo on this team, right? Kevin McCune is definitely coming around.
Mm-hmm.
He is now a major champion.
Nasty. He
throws it hard and turns the living crap out of it. Don Barrett, you know what you're getting out of Don Barrett. Don Barrett's solid.
Yeah.
Thomas Keiko's a good player. He kind of had was he a rookie last? No.
Yeah,
he made a show. I know that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Darren Tang, obviously, we know who Darren Tang is. Kevin Williams. So, I mean, it's a solid team. I like the last team better. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Lumberjacks, Troop and Prather, a couple other easy keepers. Wes Malot's back on the team too, and this is the thing, is that it doesn't really matter how well Wes Malott bowls throughout the year. He's always a freaking beast in the PBA League.
He is the Lumberjacks.
Yeah, it just doesn't matter. Wes is like the most impactful player for any team in the frickin' league.
Oh yeah. And Graham Fall, so the only new member of this team is Tom Smallwood.
Mm-hmm.
Graham Fall had a heck of a league last year too. And they're, in my opinion too, the Tim Mack is the best manager in the PBA League, hands down.
Mm-hmm. I think notably he let Packy go, but if you have, and Packy bowled really well in the league last year. when you have Troop and Prather, again, what do you do?
Yeah, you got to let one
what
go.
do you do? You got Troop, Prather, and again, Wes Malott, somebody you don't want to let go in this kind of a situation either.
You can let Arturo Quintero go.
Yeah, but they kept two of the team, or two of the players, and then Packy ended up getting drafted by somebody else before Tim could get him back on the team.
See, I think Arturo stayed on this team, and in my opinion, I think Arturo stayed on this team because he bowls out of Bayside, and so it's kind of a Arturo. You're going to pick Arturo Quintero type thing. So yeah, Bayside sponsors him too. They actually pay some of his entries and stuff too, I think.
Yeah,
he wears their logos on his jerseys. I know that. He might even work there. I don't know. Here's the team. Here's the team.
Yeah. This one's interesting because it's Parker who can still play. Simonelli had the best year out of anybody on the.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just clutch. Stu, Mitch Hupe is still trying to find some traction individually. He did win the doubles tournament with Packy. And I think he said before that on the fresh, he's really good, but when they start breaking down, he can't get his ball to go through the pins like everybody else can. He's got one of these really weird, he's got super early timing, but then he's got some little wrist action thing. And he's just so soft with it at the bottom that I think that he's better than a lot of players are on the fresh. But then when they start getting dirty, that's when he just can't get his ball to see it right. And so he has a lot of great blocks that just kind of go off the rails, and he hasn't been able to kind of make something happen.
And he has a sneaky high rev rate too. I mean, he's like you said, he's so quiet at the bottom. It's so weird how he kind of like does that twist thing at the top, but it works. It works.
Yeah.
But he used to bowl some stuff around here. We haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, he went. I think he's back in Canada because he's done a lot of stuff on JR Pro Shop's channel.
I think Frankie's out there again now too. So.
DJ Archer's sneaky. He's one of those. He's got one of those very unique games, and everybody kind of wonders how he wins at anything. But he's just so good. He's not necessarily a one-trick pony, but he's got a very unique game. But his game, he's so good at it, and he can make so many things happen within what he does that. Yeah, he's kind of sneaky nasty. And then Tom Hess he's another sneaky nasty because he doesn't do anything interesting to the ball. But it's just, he's got one of those old school, super crazy, versatile ball rolls that just makes things happen.
He's accurate as heck too, so that helps. I think Hupe, though, just to be fair, I think he was eligible and he's on this team because he won that title with Pat.
Okay.
Because it wasn't a very good year for old Mitch until obviously the doubles.
All right, let's move.
I promise I'm not trying to knock on guys. I swear. I like Mitch.
Yeah.
And Tom Hess. We see a lot of Tom Hess around our area too. So.
All right, okay. Baker kept Vi and Svensson.
This team is nasty.
Yeah, this team I really like.
Nasty.
Because you got a bunch of guys that Vi is super even keel. Nothing really gets to him anymore. Svensson, again, is the Iceman. Nothing rattles him. Nothing rattles Frankie either. I mean, these are guys that you just really can't get to. Doherty he's got confidence that borders on cocky.
Oh, yeah.
Dick Allen's one of the most clutch guys that he's another one that's got one of those weird games that it's like, how does this guy score a little and win anything at a professional level? He just doesn't care. I mean,
Richie is the greatest youth bowler in the history of Kansas City, just so you know.
Yeah.
Good old Richie.
He's got that dog in him.
He is an absolute dog.
He is the dog.
Yes.
DAWG. So, yeah, and then Pate is one of those kind of up and comers, and he's the same way. Like you can't rattle him. You can't get to him. this is going to be a sneaky, nasty team, I think.
I like that team a lot. Mark Baker's a damn good coach too.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good fit there. And yes, and Richie is also. I'm sorry, guys. For those that don't know,
It's Richie.
His name is Richie.
It's Richie. This dick stuff.
But I'll help you out. This dick stuff.
Yeah.
But Richie / Dick is also one of the better players in the history of the PBA League too, on a consistent basis.
Yeah. Here we go. Here's where Packy ended up.
Okay, this is another good team.
This one's all over the board for me. Yeah, it's a good team, but it's just all over the place.
It is.
Marshall Kent has really found himself. I think he's gone through so much stuff that he used to be the one that would always throw the one ball out the window on TV he'd always throw one out the window and lose by single digits. It seems like all the time. And now I think the last time when he won the doubles tournament with EJ a couple years ago, it just cool as a cucumber. I think he's been through so much stuff that just nothing phases him anymore.
I'm not going to lie. I agree with that 100%. I think that EJ and then Marshall winning that doubles tournament really changed his career.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think he's going to be all right. Packy, again, I think he's got some traction under his feet now. He won a couple tournaments. He got a singles tournament. He got the doubles tournament. Been practicing a lot, bowling really well. We talked to him last show and just said, he's got several years under his belt now, and so he's trending the right direction. Yep. BJ Moore is another one that just one of the best physical games you're ever going to see, and I've always said about him, he almost throws it a little bit too good because he just can't get his ball through the pins the right way because he throws it so clean. He's got such a high rev rate, and it just he just throws it too good for it to really be effective.
Yeah, he does.
Barnes is the experience on the team, and he early on in his career he kind of had the same thing as Marshall Kent. He was kind of in his own head and could cause himself problems, but I think it did the same thing for him that it's kind of doing for Marshall. It's just like you can't rattle him now.
Yeah, no. Barnes is still my favorite player of all time. He's also from our area too, for those that may not know. I'm not from Topeka originally, but I live in Topeka now, and Barnes is a Topeka native. So he is just growing up, loved watching him bowl. I was obsessed with Chris Barnes. His game, everything. He was just so dang good. So dang good. He just, I can't even tell you how many titles that guy would have if he would have just pulled his head out of his butt.
Yeah.
Think of the loss that he had to, what is his name? The one where he was up like 60 sticks.
Oh, it was Hagen Jr.
Yeah, there you go. That's an example, but the guy's a Triple Crown winner, right? Isn't he a Triple Crown winner?
Yeah, he's still been awful successful, but he could have probably 10 more titles anyway.
I'm not going to lie to you. He still throws it hard enough, and he still has a big enough rev rate, even as a senior now. I could see Chris making another show at some point. Yeah.
Yeah. Kyle's the interesting one because he's had so many injuries, and he's been practicing, and he's kind of back into it, but we just got to see he's got a title, and he needs to get his feet back under him. He doesn't have any shortage of confidence either. It just depends on if his body's going to cooperate, really.
Yep. Even after a long hiatus last year, early in the year, if you remember right, because he was out for half the season, he still wound up making a TV show. He made one during the World Series.
Yeah.
I want to say it was Cheetah Championship, maybe.
Yeah, I can't remember. And then Richie Teese is another guy that he's won a couple titles.
I know he's got one.
Yeah, he's one of those that not a lot of people know about, but he's very quietly solid. So this team is, if you add titles up, minus Chris Barnes, not a whole lot, but there's some up and comers, some ones that are going to get back on track. I think Chris is going to be a great anchor for a great anchor for the team and some experience. And then Carolyn and Dell coaching.
Hands down, awesome.
Carolyn's crazy. So
Is that no? Never mind. I was gonna say that's an all SPI team outside of, and then I was
Pack
Marshall
Arias.
and Marshall's Hammer and Packy's DV8.
Yeah.
Richie's on the SPI side, right?
Yeah. Last time I knew,
He was at Motive at one point, but
Mhm.
I didn't. Oh, he made the USBC Masters. Okay, cool. Sorry. Okay, here we go.
And then definitely an interesting one here because Sean Rash and Matt Russo were on the same team. This was the infamous integrity someday comment right before Russo, because Sean thought he was going to lose to a lefty two-hander throwing a purple hammer, and he said integrity someday. This was before all the hardness stuff came out, and then Russo promptly left Greek Church to give Sean the win, and that was a little awkward.
Oh yeah,
that
was the Brad Angelo moment, right? Wasn't it Brad? No, Brad Angelo also said something about this team last year, or the year before, and I want to say it was something due to AJ Johnson. This is the team of screamers.
Yeah,
AJ Johnson likes to yell at the screen.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, this is the one that I actually saved that, and I saved that clip somewhere. But it's the very first shot of the game, and AJ Johnson strikes. He's, oh yeah, come on, let's go. And then Angelo gets on there. He's like, oh man, let's go.
This was the same team that Ildemaro Ruiz was on a couple years ago. Mm-hmm. And he literally would like. It just the only thing I hate about the league is that stuff. Like, it's fine, get pumped, but I don't need you to look at the screen or the camera and yell at me every time you throw a shot.
Yeah, especially in the first frame.
Yeah, exactly.
Baker
format is badass, though. Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm. This is another one that has a lot of a low title total outside of Sean Rash. Anderson's got a couple, AJ's got one, Matt's got a couple, or Ogle's got a couple. Russo has one, maybe, or zero, perhaps. I can't remember if Matt's won any.
Russo has one title.
Okay, and then Thomas Larson, I think, has one.
He's got a major, doesn't he?
I think so, because the last I think he won the Masters last year.
I think he won the Masters the year that Spencer made the show.
Yeah, he won the Masters one of those years, but but again. Andrew Anderson's had some problems. AJ is on the way up. Ogle's on the way up. Russo's on the way up. Larson's on the way up. And Sean is apparently doing well.
AJ Johnson is a PBA titleist now, too.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize that, but I'm still not a fan of how that is because it's not a PBA sanctioned play. So I don't like awarding titles to that stuff, to be honest with you, especially when not all the guys are there. But you know what? Hey, kudos. We've talked about this before with AJ Johnson.
Yeah.
AJ Johnson's a great player. He's a great player. Don't get me wrong. He's going to win at some point anyway. But Ogle finally got one this last year too. So
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Be cool for Anderson to go on a run this year. Anderson's got the game to do it. He's a former player of the year. He can definitely get it done. AJB Jesper, is that not good enough? Yeah. I mean, sure. It's just that the whole field wasn't there.
Yeah, so now let's look at I'm not sure if these are in order.
I don't think so.
So, okay, last round only. Players who were on who were on rosters last year but have not won a PBA Tour title and were not top 50. So they were able to be selected in the last round because they were on a team last year, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I don't really know that should be a thing.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that after looking at this, I think it might be in order from left to right. I'm thinking that might be in order.
Okay. Yeah, because Ogle was fourth in points. So yeah, this might be an order of
I could see that being in order. Yeah.
So some of the notable ones that didn't get picked. Sean Lavery Spar is one of the more notable ones on there. AJ Chapman, I think, was 22nd in points. He got left off. AJ just hasn't put it together yet. He's got probably the best physical game out there, but I think he still needs something. I don't know what it is, but he still needs something. I don't know if he just hasn't been able to put things together or what, but
Yeah. Yeah, Nico, I know it's a shock that Brad wasn't in the top 50, but my boy's been working. He'll be back this year. I think he tried to do too much last year. I'd seen some things physically from him that he was doing things that's not him. He needs to get back to what he does good, and he'll be just fine.
yeah.
DJ Archer was picked. Matt Sanders, Mitch Hupe, Frankie. Let's see we can talk about guys that had bad years, right? I mean, look where Frankie's at. I mean, Frankie had a quiet year. We didn't see him last year, and we didn't see him at all. And I don't care what anybody says. I'll take Frankie over almost anybody on that list.
Mm-hmm.
The dude just makes shots and he just wins money. So no, Santu did not get picked.
Michael, that's a little. That's a little. Was Santu's not even on the list? Oh no, there he is.
Yeah, he is.
Okay, so that's kind of weird that he didn't get picked. Michael Martell, not terribly surprised there. Nathan Bohr, not terribly surprised at that either. Kim Ballaby, not really surprised there.
Zach surprises Zach. We love Zach, right? But he did.
Yeah,
he had to go through the PTQs and didn't have an amazing year. But I mean, hey, kudos to still get yourself there and have an opportunity.
Yeah, he was still in the top 50 in points.
Santu's injured.
So, Santu's injured. Okay, that's why then.
Kim Ballaby, Tom.
And then off the last round, Anthony Lavery Spar and Ildemaro Ruiz didn't get picked. So, I mean, it's fairly
ALS
small.
shocks me a little bit. ALS had a decent year too.
Yeah. So, let's see. Just looking at this list and looking at who got in versus who didn't. So, since Sean Lavery Spar didn't get picked, AJ Chapman didn't get picked, who are we looking at as far as these guys should have been in place of some other people? So the last round only thing, they didn't win a title and they weren't top 50 in points. And so I think that, sorry, but Frank and Arturo probably shouldn't be on teams. They should have probably, there shouldn't be this last round only thing.
Yeah.
If they didn't win a title and they weren't top 50 in points, they just shouldn't be eligible.
Oh, let's just be honest. Anybody that's on that bottom last round only list shouldn't be there.
Mm-hmm.
You take Sean Lavery, you take AJ Chapman, you take even Zach. You take Zach Wilkins on there. Yeah, Zach Tackett's on the list, and he got drafted. I don't know where he finished in points, but guys like Matt Sanders, anybody that's on our top list that was technically made their chance to be eligible, they should be on a team. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have to add more teams. My feelings would never be hurt to add more teams to this thing. Especially if we're going to expand it and we're going to make this a league. Like, let's find a way to make this thing league wide, like PBA wide.
Yeah.
If you're a consistent player on the team or league, why not? It just gives these guys a chance to bowl more, gives the PBA more exposure and more prize money.
And I kind of miss the women's teams, or at least having like one woman on every team. So the sixth member of each team make that one of the female pros.
See, I'm partial on that, and I can tell you why, but it's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you if you want to know.
Just put it out there, man.
Because if they really want to do it, their league can do it themselves.
Yeah.
The PBA is the PBA's league. The other thing, too, is those women don't bowl at the same time the PBA does. If they would like to bowl and get eligible, they can bowl and get eligible. They don't think they should have their own league teams.
Yeah, okay.
That's the only reason why, because we're already having problems with guys getting picked. So
yeah, we're already having problems with people being picked. Adding.
And I promise this is not me being sexist in any way. I just feel like these guys bowl the whole season. They have to earn their way just like everybody else does. Now, I thought it was cool to do it for them during the COVID year because they didn't have a league, right?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have a league. But to be fair, they didn't do it the right way. They just picked their favorite players and say, hey, you're going to bowl the league. Kind of like PBA was doing with those stupid one-off strike derbies and things that they started doing forever. Yeah. They're just picking people they want to see on TV. No, you should go off points and earn it. But if the women want to do something, the USBC can put something their way. I mean, let's we're already, like I said, we're already having a hard time of people getting picked, and we're already talking about that. So it's cool. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. It's cool, but no, I don't think so.
Yeah, I can't imagine the amount of money being spent on travel and lodging for this league. Well, it's not a real league. No. They're just doing so, and this is the first year actually that they've done any qualifying whatsoever at the regular stops. Previously, the league had been you get on a team and you have like a day of qualifying, and then you have a day of some matches, and then you have like the final stuff on TV. So the league was like 3 or 4 days. It wasn't an actual league. Now it is kind of like an actual league because these teams will bowl league matches at every stop or most stops. So yeah.
A one-off, actually what Billy just said, to kind of piggyback off of what we were just talking about, to have a PBA league, and then the women find a way to do something where they can put like their top 5 against the men and do a battle of the sexes. That'd be kind of fun. That'd be a fun. You could even call it the PWBA versus PBA challenge. That would be pretty freaking cool. And find a way to make it a made-for-TV thing. We'd all watch it. The women get to see the women bowlers. A lot of the guys get to watch the women bowlers. I enjoy watching the women bowlers because their games are so much different than the men's. Yeah. We've talked about this before, but it's a fantastic idea, and I think that would be a lot of fun.
Like you said, get the women there, have the PBA League teams, and then have the women do the same thing, and maybe the women can even have league matches at the stops and whatever else, and then you have the PBA League, the PWBA League, and then the champions of each league bowl each other at the end of the thing.
Exactly. Tobias said the same thing. The women can bowl the men's events. I don't know why they don't. If they're professional bowlers, why aren't we bowling the men's events?
Well, and especially because the men's tour is so now. A few of them do. Daniel McEwen, I think, bowls some of the stuff, and then some of it overlaps this year. The men's stuff overlaps with the women's events a little bit. The women only have like 7 stops. So
if you're bowling for 11, what is 7? Why aren't we bowling the other stuff that's there to bowl?
The women's tournament or the women's league is it's really bad this year.
I just feel like if they want to qualify right now and they want a team, they should be able to bowl and qualify through it.
Yeah. And I think that several of them could do it too. The one big thing is that transition on the women's tour is completely different than transition on the men's tour. And I think that some of them, they're not used to, the transition that the men create. So
hey, bowl them. That's how you find out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's be honest, bowl. That's the only way you can find out. I know it's expensive, but it is what it is.
Well, again, some of them do, and especially like the Masters and the U.S. Open, some of the women bowl both women's and the men's or the regular.
Like Liz Johnson, my hat's off to her because she used to bowl those things like crazy. She used to chase the rabbit squats.
Yeah,
she was bowling every week. Why aren't we doing that anymore?
Yeah, she almost beat Wes Malott one week too, way back when.
Let's be honest, the women now are way more talented physically and overall than what they were back then.
Liz also has a title, so she has a title. Plus, she finished second one year too.
Well, Kelly Kulick qualified for the tournament champions. I didn't think she should have qualified for the tournament.
That's the asterisk. Sure, she ended up winning the tournament, but they put her in there because they kind of counted everybody that won, whether you won a regular title or a regional title or whatever else. So
notice they did that one year and never did that again.
Mm-hmm.
Barnesy, I'm sure will never live that down. But you know what? She beat him. She beat him.
Yeah. She just she won that tournament, whether or not she should have been in there. Yeah. She made the most of the opportunity.
Damn right she did.
So
she made a lot of money that day too. So
yeah,
good for her. Yeah, but I just think that the women now should go try it. Go bowl it. If you want to earn your way, get out there and bowl. That's just the fair way to do it. So, Kelly Kulick is one of my hometown heroes. Kelly Kulick's amazing. I love watching her bowl. There's a lot of females out there that throw it fantastic. Some of their games out there are phenomenal. There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's some amateur women out there that don't bowl on the PWBA tour that are amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll just name you a few. I know she's made the shows and stuff, but she's not really bowling the PWBA stuff a ton anymore. Shannon Sellens. Shannon Sellens is amazing.
Yeah.
She throws it fantastic. She's slow and smooth to the line. I mean, just that's one to name. I know there's plenty out there.
I think she's just as tough or tougher than some of the guys out there mentally.
Yeah. Mark Henniger's wife, Raven. Raven's a great little amateur player. I've grown up with her and watched her bowl many, many years. She's now a part of SPI. She's got a Storm contract. So
it's a split household.
Yep. Well, it wasn't at one point, but yeah.
Yeah.
But there's just a lot of women out there that probably could do it. And there's probably women that go bowl on the PWBA tour that probably shouldn't bowl on the PWBA tour, but that's a whole different point in itself. There's guys that do that on the PBA tour either.
Yeah.
As well.
And at some point, that's one of those things that sometimes you got to go out there and find out sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there's some of them it's like, well, you can't even win tournaments in your backyard. Let's just focus on being competitive in your own backyard first before you take the big jump. So,
well, yeah, sure. I mean, there's nothing wrong with making the big jump to go bowl one. Like, oh, hey, it's close. I'll give it a shot. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I get it. Like a regional. There's nothing wrong with a guy going to bowl regional.
Yeah.
It's just bowling for a living is overrated, just so people know.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I was talking to somebody about that the other day. Somebody posted something on Facebook and said, "Oh yeah, it was something in the bowling science forum, and people were talking about, oh yeah, bowling's doing just fine," and put a bunch of numbers up there. And somebody else said, "Well, as long as the pro tours are rolling along just fine," I'm like, they're really not. They're really not. Bolero just kind of looks at the PBA as, and they've said as much. They look at it as cheap advertising. The WBA schedule this year is terrible, and everybody, outside of the top 10, probably on the PBA tour, Matt Ogle was 4th in points or whatever, and he still has a regular day job.
He owns a business, though.
Yeah, he owns a business, but he's still out there working. He's just one of the regular employees.
Yeah. Tobias, same here. I hope the World League takes off too. That'd be really freaking awesome.
Mm-hmm. That would do crazy things for bowling.
Why don't we just call it Live Bowling Tour?
Yeah.
I mean, did we just see the contract that
Live Bowling?
That what's his name just got on John Rahm?
Mm-hmm.
Liv just gave him BJ also owns a restaurant, so it's family owned. It's been
There's a lot of people. If you're a pro and you're not in the top 10 in earnings every year, you have to have a regular day job.
Oh yeah, I mean, let's be honest. Simon makes a lot of money bowling. He has a day job.
Yeah, Simon
makes over $100,000 a year bowling, and he still has a day job. I'm sorry, $100,000 a year is a lot of money.
Yeah,
I'm kind of one of those guys too. I'd probably work if I was making $100,000 a year doing that. I'd probably still find something to do in the off season work.
Yeah, because it's not.
I like money. So
yeah, and it's not really anymore. That's not really a whole lot of money.
Well, in Topeka it is.
Yeah, it's plenty in Topeka, but
Vegas not so much. I mean, the year that Troop made $500,000 or whatever it was, he probably didn't have to work a lot that
year. Yeah, he probably could take it easy there.
I mean, after one of his wins, he went out and bought him a Telluride.
Yeah,
like me a little telly action. Yeah, no, the PBA League thing and just talking about it in general it's been a fun debate. I enjoy it. If you guys think I'm a little far-fetched on some of my my thoughts, and once again, any ladies that watch, I don't mean any disrespect by it. I really don't.
Yeah,
I really don't. So I just think that they should earn their way just like everybody else. I thought the 1 year it was a cool thing. I really do. I thought the 1 year it was a neat option. I enjoyed it. I was actually kind of rooting for him. I'm like, are the girls going to knock these dudes off? Is this going to happen? Are we going to see it? And Just things just didn't go their way. But yeah, that's my opinion. So
Yeah.
I just see there's 2 leagues, and that the women have the option to bowl the men's, and 90% of it's in their off season.
Yeah.
When they not claim, but when they bowl for a living already, why aren't you bowling? So that's the only thing I've got about that. So carry on.
Yeah. So we talked about that. Somebody also mentioned about the, why don't they release the patterns for the nationals? And that'll never happen. Not as long as Chad Murphy's up there. If they put somebody else in there, then yeah, I think it'll happen. But
yeah,
it's kind of a packed court right now, so I don't see Chad Murphy leaving or being removed anytime soon.
Guy takes a lot of heat. He's got some big cojones for staying around too.
Yep, I do respect the him for sticking to his guns.
Yeah,
because I mean he doesn't have a whole lot of people behind him. He doesn't have a whole lot of friends backing him, and he's still in the trenches doing what he thinks the best thing for bowling is. And while I don't agree, I can respect that. I just wish that there was somebody in there with his cojones that actually was making good decisions for bowling.
Yeah. So just to track back, because I know we were talking about it earlier, Rob Gottschall. So he was the women, he was the PWB, he was the tournament director, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine that he's going to a ball company, ball manufacturer. Sorry for the layperson.
Yeah,
I had to pull we have always got to pull a Dumb and Dumber reference out, right? I can't imagine that he's going to go take a tour job. He's got to be taking like a solid job on one of these ball manufacturers.
Yeah,
I'm going to guess it's on the B7 side.
Probably because that's where he was to begin with. So he also, I'm trying to look up Facebook, and he doesn't post a whole lot. So
yeah, he doesn't say.
He's not the type of guy that's going to post on social media much. I
don't think does he bowl ton anymore?
I don't think so. He's not terribly personable either.
He was a good bowler. I know that much.
Let me, it's on the screen, but we mentioned this a little. New director for bowling ball nomenclature.
We've already discussed this. He's going to swag.
Yeah. We hit on this earlier, but is there merit to not releasing the patterns because only some bowlers will be able to practice on them? No, they absolutely should release the patterns, but the bowlers that are complaining about them getting released will say, oh, well, that means that the good bowlers can get them and practice on them and get everything figured out before they go to the tournament. But these same bowlers will also say that they'll bowl the bowler's journal and the team practice session, then they'll get on the tournament lanes and say, oh, this wasn't even close to what we practice on or what the BJ was on or whatever else. And it's like, okay, well, if it's still not representative. You're in the same building with the same lane machine, the same oil, same part of the world, same climate, same everything. And if that's not close, then somebody putting it down on the opposite side of the country with a different machine, different oil, different lane surface, that's going to be even further away. So, people don't understand that. I mean, here in Kansas City, we get that they can put the same pattern down in 5 different houses, and you're going to have 5 completely different challenges.
That's a fact.
So, people don't understand that just because you lay a lane pattern down and practice on it that doesn't really mean anything. It just doesn't. And sometimes you can't even get a very good idea.
No, not at all.
So,
I mean, I can name you 2 houses right now that play totally opposite. Say you laid chromium down, put it at Olathe East, and then you put it at Aaron's. You're going to beat yourself in the head in one place, and in one place you're going to score. It's just it's awful. To me, Olathe East always plays tighter. So maybe that's just me.
The other part of this is that if the patterns are released, obviously the better bowlers know how to read the patterns, and so they have a better idea what they're getting themselves into. But they can also go early to the tournament and watch. They can bowl the BJ, the team practice session, watch other people bowl and get a pretty good idea right there while they're already bowling. I don't think that. But if you have 5 houses in your area and you get the one that plays closest to South Point to put it down, it's still not helpful. It's just still not going to work because even again, most of the better teams see what the better teams, number one, they know how to bowl in the first place. They know how to read ball reaction. They will get there a couple days in advance. They'll bowl the BJ a couple times. They'll bowl a couple team practice sessions. They'll watch people bowl. Most regular bowlers just show up and bowl the tournament.
Yep.
They don't get any practice in. They don't bowl any side events. They just go bowl the tournament. They're not used to bowling on tough stuff to begin with. They bowl on house shots all year round. And then they moan and complain about the better bowlers that bowl on tougher stuff more frequently. They get there a couple days early and they bowl several times. Number one, just to get themselves warmed back up after traveling and whatever else. And so releasing or not releasing the patterns is not going to change the outcome for the better bowler.
No,
it's not releasing the patterns is not an advantage to him. It just should be done for transparency's sake. But people just don't understand when they complain about stuff like that.
I mean, obviously this isn't going to relate to anybody else, but the weekend that we pulled it's been a few years ago now. James still wasn't living in town, and we put out the Swiss pattern at Gage, and then we bowled on that for what?
Yeah, a couple hours.
Yeah, and then went and bowled the actual tournament itself in Wichita at North Rock.
Not remotely close.
I mean, when I say not close,
yeah.
I mean, which was weird is I thought Gage played tighter.
Mm-hmm.
Gage played way tighter, and they hooked more in North Rock. Like when I say hooked more, they hooked a crap load more. It wasn't even remotely close to the same pattern. So this being able the advantage of seeing the pattern and putting it down in your house, I don't care who you are, you're not going to play. You're just not going to.
Not an advantage. Put something tough down just to give yourself the idea.
Yeah.
Just to get yourself sharp. Just to get an idea. And again, the patterns for the last several years, if you go back and look, they've been outside of doubles and singles having lower volume this year. They've been remarkably consistent. So you kind of know where they're going to be at anyway. And I think that the other thing is they should release the patterns too, because most people are traveling in for this tournament. They can't travel with you want to try to figure out what to take in the first place. And so one thing that seeing a pattern can do is at least put you in the right equipment zone.
Yeah.
But they've been very consistent throughout the last several years, throughout the last decade. And they have kind of flipped philosophies on team and doubles and singles, but they're the same. The two patterns are virtually the same every single year. So I think it's one of those things, if you actually pay attention. And the other thing is that if, John Thompson, Big John here with the donation. How did Packy, Rash, and EJ get selected to ring the bell at the stock exchange? Going there would have been cool to see, I think. I have no idea how they picked them out of everybody, but Bolero being publicly traded or whatever now, I think is...
What was that, the John Thompson that won?
Yep.
Chicago's?
Yep.
Ask him if he got the message. I shipped his ball today. I think. Wait, no, that wasn't him.
No.
That he won the other.
Yeah.
Prize.
Mm-hmm.
Lawrence.
Yeah, Lawrence Balzer.
Yeah.
Larry Balzer.
Yes. He's the other one I shipped today.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, continue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I truly have no idea how they got picked.
I don't know how they got picked.
I saw it one day and it was like EJ and Rash and all them were on the New York Stock Exchange ringing the bell. I was like, the heck? I never heard anything about it.
Yeah.
My monitors are failing on me here.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it, buddy.
So yeah, and because they don't release the patterns, if you get the videos of you bowling, you can't get them until the end of the tournament. When you walk in there, they're trying to keep everything hush hush. So outside of them posting like honor score videos, they don't want any videos. They jump down your throat every time they see you pull your phone out. They don't do the live streams anymore. And so I just can't understand in the age of social media locking down any and all promotion for the tournament to hide patterns, which has no bearing on anything. It doesn't matter. It's not accomplishing anything. I would think that with that tournament being what it is, you would want to get as much video out there as possible, promote it as much as possible, show people having a good time. It's freaking miserable every time we go because it's just the process, and feeling like it's almost like feeling like you're in prison, because you go in there and every single time I pulled my phone out, I got to make sure that I'm like aiming it down and checking out everybody, seeing where the lane monitors and all the USB-C people are at. Just like, I'm not taking video. I'm looking at something.
Yeah, it's a pain. I haven't been in a few years. I need to go back.
But
I don't know if I want to.
Yeah, this last year it was actually kind of funny that the tournament was the best part of the whole thing, because Reno's still a dump.
Oh yeah,
Reno sucks.
Always has.
I've liked it before, but this year was miserable.
I'm gonna unplug for 2 seconds because I'm fighting a cord here. Give me just a second. I'm not hearing you very well.
Okay. USB-C is going with the Wolf defense for no social media nationals. Yeah. It's just stupid.
All right, now I'm back.
Okay.
I think one of my ear monitors is failing me here.
Okay.
I can hear you out of one ear, not the other.
Oh. Who won the Ginger Snap air freshener? I think that was kind of a joke. Riley Patton's got one of the. I think who made those air fresheners? Was it Mr.
Bill? Mr. Bill.
Yeah, Mr. Bill made the air fresheners with my face and James's face on them. Yeah, it was kind of a joke. But then Riley got one, and Josh Franz, Martin Franz, posted a picture of it
In the breakdown pair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, boy.
But,
all right, we got a little under 30 minutes left. I think we hit on our topics here. If you guys want to have a little fun and talk about some bowling balls or whatever you want to talk about. It's our final stream of 2023. It's pretty crazy that we've been doing these still. Thinking about how we've gone all the way back from the rise and grinds that turned out to be something that we're at now.
Streams. Yeah.
Yeah. It turned in from coffee to alcohol.
Yeah.
But it's pretty cool. It's bittersweet. This is our episode number 79. And the fact that our next one's going to be number 80 is pretty awesome. So,
yeah.
I'll say, Luke, your head smells better, James. What's in the bag? Everybody likes to talk about what's in the bag. My bag, so I can start. My bag's pretty simple. I've only added, what have I added? I've added a Fate, which we've talked about before, and I've added a Big Time. I've recently drilled a Big Time. Hopefully for Christmas, Santa brings me a little bit of bowling stuff. But if he doesn't, no biggie. But yeah, just a Fate for me. For Luke's Summit, yeah. If Luke doesn't throw the Summit, I'll kick him in the butt.
Yeah. That's one of those things. It's been really simple for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's what's in the bag is the Summit. I've been taking my Phase G. Nothing else really matters.
Yeah, I know.
I'll probably put the absolute power on the peak in the bag when I can throw those for a little while. But
did I just hear Christmas music somewhere?
Yeah, Angel's got a for the Android users out there. You can download themes for your phone, and it'll change your ringtones and so she's got a Christmas themed ringtone, text tone, whatever else.
I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty cool.
Background.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll change the background, and
that was pretty cool. I was like, all I heard is doon 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 doon. I'm like, Luke, you got a text message.
Yeah, if you call me, it rings Christmas music too.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
The Summit Peak is cleaner and sharper than the Summit, but it's pretty close to it from a total hook standpoint. So we'll have to see if there's enough separation to carry them both, and if the Peak is as magical as the Summit is. I would say it'd be kind of helpful, because there are some times where it gets a little tricky because of how slow the Summit is. Trevor's team wasn't there last week, and we bowled unopposed, and it just wasn't. It was kind of over under with the Summit. I never could get anything really lined up, and so having kind of a different look. And I threw some other stuff too, and they didn't really work out either. So,
what pair are you on, by the way? Just
17 and 18. So it's not a great pair, but
pair's awful.
So yeah, none of us really bowled spectacular. It just we did good enough to. I mean, Trevor didn't really pre-bowl that great either. So,
well, he didn't bowl the night that same night, if I remember right. He didn't bowl well either for the first set. So like his normal set of league.
Mm-hmm.
I saw he shot 160 his last game.
Yeah, I think it was like 630 for his first set, and then he shot 640.
Yeah, he's I don't know if he's going through like a mechanical rut or something, but he has not had his best time in that building this year. Lawrence he's not bowling in that league next year either, by the way.
I can see why because the only ones that are really like he's still at 230 something, but it's kind of funny to feel like he's struggling at 230. But the ones that are scoring don't have near the rev rate that he does. It's just one of those things that I think his rev rate's making it a little tricky for him because it's kind of cliffy over there. And me and Eric and Rob Wagner are bowling really well, but the higher rev lefties, Gilmore's not bowling that great. Mike Anderson's having kind of a rough time. Chubby's having kind of a rough time. So
I'm looking real quick to see if they've updated our standing sheets. Just
the dumpers.
The dumpers. I'm not bowling terribly bad.
Wednesday, yeah, they probably should have. So
I'm not bowling terribly bad in that league right now. It could be better. I had a couple of weeks where I couldn't figure out transition.
Phase 2 still a must-have. Yeah, I think so.
We did just get updated. Man, we moved up to 4th.
Yeah, look at that.
With a solid week, we could finish the half in 2nd.
Sweet. And we're bowling Russ.
Oh, that's never easy.
Well, and see, that's the other thing is we could actually help you guys out because we're going to be bowling Russ and Trevor the last 2 weeks of next half too. So anybody that's in striking distance around the top, it's for anybody realistically. Yeah. They could either, depending on who's where, we're just beating each other up the last few weeks of the.
What's crazy is it's your team, our team, and Trevor's team that are top 3 in total pinfall.
See, that's the interesting thing James and I have talked about quite a bit. This stupid camera.
Get the coffee mug. Yeah, we are literally within striking distance of finishing in 2nd. We need a little help from Overby. They need to have kind of a rough week. Mm-hmm. But we are 5 points back from Jerry Jennings' team.
And see, that's the interesting thing. I think James was gonna see like pins against because Team Ottawa has like the 10th highest total pinfall or something, yet they've been competitive the entire year.
Just getting lucky. Maybe that's what it is.
It could be that. They could just be out bowling people on those specific pairs. Even they might. They're definitely not getting everybody else's best shot.
We have a chance to have a good week, and I don't mean this against the team we're bowling. I don't mean in any way, shape, or form, but we're bowling Danny Bradley's team this week.
Mm-hmm. Danny hasn't. He's had a pretty down year too.
He's at 209.
Mm-hmm. And he was 230 something last year.
Me and Big Danny are going to bowl each other.
Mm-hmm.
So they're at Tyler Barnett at 201, Megan Cole at 200 even, and Danny Bradley at 209, Alex Hardman at 215. So, yeah, we got to. If we can get another solid points night, I'll take a top 2 finish in the half.
Yeah.
Why not? I'll take that in a heartbeat and run with it, because we went through a couple weeks there where a couple guys were really struggling with transition. I was one of them, and it wasn't game 1 and 2, it was game 3.
Yeah.
And then the week that we bowled you guys is where I finally figured out how to bowl in game 3.
Yeah.
So we and Baton's not had his best year. So he bowled really well last year, and if we can get Baton to getting back to where he was at last year with Trevor, I think we'd be in good shape. He was 218, 219, I think, last year.
Mm-hmm.
Right now he's currently at 210. I don't know if it's just a transition thing. I don't know if it's in this, to be honest. I don't know if it's because he's been bowling a lot of the PBA stuff. He's been bowling regionals week in and week out. That can really screw with things.
Yeah, probably that, because it's a completely opposite experience bowling on something tough, bowling on something, bowling on a house shot. And if you build your game around, Zach Rhodes kind of does the same thing. He does Zach hates house shots, because it's just when you build your game around bowling on tougher stuff, house shots are just going to screw with you.
Oh, they are. Oh, absolutely. I get it. That's why you see so many guys, like even the pros, actually, a lot of them struggle on house shots. Mm-hmm. I know it sounds crazy. Those good guys are going to strike on them. Don't get me wrong, but a lot of them will struggle on when they're easy, because they're not used to bowling on stuff that you're wide open.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's a pretty big finish for us last week. So I pretty pumped about that. So, especially because, I mean, finish top 3 in pinfall in the first half is also a pretty big accomplishment in a league like that. A lot of good bowlers. A lot of really good bowlers. So, anyway. Did we miss any questions in here?
I don't think so.
No? Kind of dying down? We're not partying in the last 15 minutes? You guys don't like us anymore? I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Totally kidding. Hope everybody gets everything they ask for Christmas. Big, especially the big things you ask for.
Yeah.
Do you guys stick with the same lineup of balls in league, or do you try new equipment even when your staples are your best option? Great question, actually. Great question. I'm not afraid to try new things. How about that?
When I try new things, I do it in our mixed league on Friday. Friday, I kind of use as the troubleshooting / what went wrong, what went right on Thursday, and trying out new equipment. If I have some new stuff I want to put in the rotation, I try them out. Try them out on Friday. And Thursday, I use what works.
Yeah. Go Lions, Kelly. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Each of our top 3 bowls for the year.
Well, I only drilled like 3 for the year. I'll just give you my top one. MV Tour was the daddy.
I'll actually pull that up. The Summit's the best one for me. Let me look at the list here and see what other ones stood out.
Are we able to play the our game, the stateside or overseas game? Have we had any updated stuff?
I don't think we've had anything updated. Okay. I can take a look. I'll take a look. Let's see.
No biggie.
Summit was the ball of the year for me. I'd put the Clone up there too. Very surprisingly good.
Okay.
And actually, the Sublime's looking really good.
You did not drill one, right?
No, I didn't drill one. They don't send us the global stuff, and with all this other stuff coming out, the TNT infused and the Journey. We just had the gold label a couple months ago. The Zen still exists. We got the Summit Peak coming. And it's like, well, I've already got so many balls in this general zone. I don't want to go out of my way to drill something just to make a video with. And so that's why I just had Zach, Zach drilled one. And so I thought, okay, well, we'll just have him do the video for it. I think that worked out for everybody. And from what I've seen from it, it is actually not that I thought it was going to be bad. It's just it's been very good. It's been a kind of a standout. And so I'd have to put that one in the top list. And so, yeah, Summit Clone Sublime, I think, would have to be the ones. And that gives you one from each company. I think the Virtual Energy Blackout would have to be an honorable mention because it's pretty good. The TNT Infused is another honorable mention. I can't decide whether it's because it is actually a great ball or if it's just the TNT is so bad that this one being good is kind of surprising. I think it is pretty good though. So
why does Overseas get so many nano covers?
Well, overseas, they're smarter. Let me just put it that way. The reason that we didn't get stronger pearls or hybrids over here for such a long time is because for some reason people think that pearls are, something being pearl just means it's automatically long and sharp. And if they put out a pearl that's not long and sharp, then people don't like it. The Zen, I think, was the one to kind of break that mold or break that stereotype. And it's just so good that nobody cared or nobody really thought about it. It's like, hey, this is kind of early and smooth for a pearl. It was just good. And so people bought it and they just kind of forgot about it.
Right.
And so I think that started opening the door for other things, other shiny balls to have stronger covers. And I think that's why overseas they get so many, because the stronger covers just blend the lane better. The weaker covers, the more oil we get and the tougher patterns you bowl on, you want stronger covers because they get more traction in the oil and they blend the dry better. The weaker covers hydroplane more on the oil and they respond more sharply to the dry, so they're not as controllable. They're not as consistent. They're a little bit more sensitive. And so overseas, I think they generally have higher oil volumes too. Here in the States, a lot of league shots are really dry. And so I think that's also part of it too. There's just not, on a lot of the league shots that people bowl on, nano covers just aren't going to be in play. They're just going to be too strong.
That's fair. That's fair.
Journey versus Sublime video drop. I'll have to see if I can get Zach to do that. He's going to be doing a lot of videos for us going forward since James has been drilling mostly Brunswick stuff. So Zach doesn't really like making videos himself, and we could use a higher rev righty on the channel. So it's going to work out for everybody. So we just need to go film some more stuff. I am working on Sublime versus TNT Infused. I got that written today, and then I'll be putting that video up. And then of course we'll have the Peak and the Power reviews will be next Friday is when I can put them out. But I do need to get back together with Zach again and film for some more balls so that we can get some more comparisons out.
Cool. Got any plans for New Year's? I know you said we talked about Christmas. Didn't know what you guys are doing for New Year's.
We're gonna bowl I'm gonna bowl both tournaments. Angel's gonna bowl the scratch tournament, and then I'm gonna
I don't know.
Oh, Angel doesn't know yet. She might bowl the scratch tournament. She might not. I'm bowling both of them. I don't have a doubles partner yet, but I just put my name on the list. So we will figure that one out. I think that's in Belton. The scratch tournament's at Olathe, and the doubles is in Belton.
I haven't
And
done
so-
anything with doubles yet. If you wanted to bowl, I could. Let me check with Amanda. I can see if we want to bowl.
Okay.
Let me find out. I was wanting to bowl one of them, but I don't know which one. So I'll let you know. Whatever. I got to figure out what's going on.
And see, the other thing is too, I'm going to be a lefty in Belton, so I'm going to be a lefty in Belton. That's not Brandon Carlson, so probably not going to be spectacular. But I want to bowl some more of the tournaments this year. It's just the problem is most of them are in Belton, and Belton's just miserable on the left side. So
yeah, it's awful. It's just absolutely awful.
I might just have to get better too, but
that's asking a lot. No,
yeah,
I'm kidding.
I get more handicap now because it's 80% of 230. So
I am doing call it drinking on one night. That's
yeah,
what we play New Year's Eve night. It's tradition. I do with Amanda, me, and Woody, who you've met. We drink and play Call of Duty.
Yeah,
We'll play for 6 hours.
Yeah.
Got nothing else to do. Hey, I stay home while everybody else is out drinking and driving.
Yeah, I don't think we have anything interesting going on. We just don't really have it.
We
don't have any.
Go ahead. Sorry. My monitor's cutting in and out. Sorry.
Yeah, we're just we're not really doing anything for Christmas, and I mean we're going to be doing more stuff when the kids get here. It's just kind of quiet for the actual holiday days. So,
well, we're obviously going to meet up when the family gets in town, so the girls can play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We got to go back out to the pennant again because
I'm down for that.
Fun. So
definitely like that. Yeah, the girls got to bowl and everything too. That was cool.
Yeah,
that was cool. They like that, but we can do. But yeah, I'll let you know. I can know by this week if you're going to do the doubles and want to bowl. I can.
Okey-doke.
Can find out. I don't know what's going on, so. I usually bowl at Brett, but I think he said he was going to take a break from tournaments for a while. So,
oh, okay.
Even though he just bowled well the other day.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He just made the top 4 the other day.
Some people like taking breaks. That's another reason why I didn't bowl Sunday. Just take a day off. So, I don't know if I could have bowled Sunday. My knee was barking.
I should have taken a day off.
Well, so did Trevor. Trevor should have taken a day off too. Probably. Same with you.
Bo, that was one of those things. If again,
Bo too. Yeah.
Yeah, Bo and Trev. There wasn't a lefty in the building that was plus for the day.
I think Trevor said that last night. Actually, now you say that there wasn't a lefty plus in the building.
Yeah.
He said the top 16 was like all righties.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
The top. God, I think the top 20 probably. There might have. I don't know. I can't remember where they got down to 0 or they got down to. It wasn't an easy pattern, but it's just the right side there is softer than the left. No matter what you're bowling on, the scoring pace is always going to be a little bit higher on the right there. But I mean, there's other places. Summit's really nice on the left side now. I shot 750 in team at KCO, and so
I did 9 pin 8 times in 6 games the other day. Last Saturday. Yeah, I was real thrilled about that. I had 9 pin in that building more than anybody, and I don't know why.
Riley was counting them too. Part of it's twisters.
Oh, well, I get it. It's just I play the angles for twister pins that you wouldn't think that I'd be blowing 9s left and right, but I do. I blow a 9 pin in there more than I do that more than I do a gauge.
Yeah,
it's awful. It's awful. I just want to punch myself in the face every time I bowl there. I've had some good tournaments there. Don't get me wrong. I've had some good ones, but if I do what I did last night and I go tempo wise, hopefully it carries over to Saturday. But if I do that, things will start looking up. It felt so much better tempo wise, release point, just posting shots. It felt better. So
yeah,
make spares. Spares were a huge thing too, and yeah, I finally told myself, hey, we're gonna try this. If it doesn't work, we're gonna go back to the drawing board. So yeah, I don't have time to practice anymore with freaking gymnastics and bowling and everything else. So work.
Yeah, when you do have time, you don't want to go bowl.
That's a fact. 100% a fact.
I got a couple of AI questions in here. We are
Go
going
for
to see some more AI core. It looks like they're going to give it the dynamic core treatment and put it on releases in different brands for SPI. AI is not Storm's version of dynamic core. Dynamic core is supposed to affect the coefficient of restitution. It's supposed to make the bowling balls hit harder. That's the point of dynamic core. AI has the kind of shapes, has the kind of geometric shapes or whatever cut out of it, which that concept takes the core's natural strength and enhances it. That's why it's called amplified inertia. So it amplifies the strength of the core. So they took for example, in the Summit, it's the centripetal HD core from the Sonic and the Supersonic. But when they put the AI on it, that drops the RG and it raises the differential. So it takes the core and it makes it stronger. And the other thing is that they say that it helps on the off hits. It doesn't necessarily just hit harder. It just improves carry on off hits. And so far on the Summit, I can say yes, but we're still on the fence. We'll have to look more at the Sublime and the Summit Peak coming now because it's also got AI. So we'll have to see if that's actually a thing or if the Summit was just kind of a lightning in the bottle type of, well, it's early and strong and smooth, and so that just kind of keeps the pins low, and just the tanky nature of that specific ball is what gets it done, not necessarily the core. But what we do know about the AI is it does actually make the core stronger.
Yeah. So
that it's when dynamic core goes on a core, it's the same stuff. It doesn't affect the dynamics of the core or the numbers. It just is supposed to make the ball hit harder. So yeah, two different things.
Artificial intelligence
changes
the world. Sorry, just had to do it.
Hey, John, if you've got handicap, you could use both AI and dynamic core on a ball. I think so. If you had AI dynamic core, because the way that it's a certain how the edges or the sides or whatever are shaped, the geometric shape, I guess, has something to do with making the core stronger. So.
Jeff is running a Baker's doubles on Wednesday, the 27th in Ottawa. Handicap.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, that might be fun to do. Baker's
that would
doubles,
be kind of fun.
Wednesday, the 27th in Ottawa. 80%.
What time is that? Just curious.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
I don't bowl on Wednesdays. I'd have to find a partner because Raylan has gymnastics.
I would at least come down and watch. Any excuse to get down there and
eat at
prime time. Yeah.
You've been telling me about that. We got to get there.
Yep. Went down and had the salmon again.
Got my hotel booked for Southwest tournament too. So I'm a solo artist that weekend. Wife's not going.
Yeah, me too. So Angel's going to stay home with the dogs.
Don't tell her we're going to party.
Yeah.
We don't have time to party that weekend.
Yeah, that's the thing is, well, I like hitting the spots, and so I'm going to get there at a decent time on Friday and go have probably one single beer at Central Standard, and
I'll go. I'm going down Friday, so yeah, I'll go. Yeah, and then Friday, like to try to hit the Anchor, and then Dempsey's for burgers after on Sunday. But you could always meet Dylan and I and Bruce for dinner or lunch one day. Yeah, that works. That works too. Yeah, it's just going to be. We go to Bricktown too. Yeah. Bricktown's another one that we like to make it to. So I think usually Friday night we go to Bricktown. So if you want to meet us for Friday night, let's go to Bricktown. Yeah, that works for me. And I think I am still going to go over to Dino's for lunch or whatever when I get in there on Friday. I'm in. I'll meet you. So yeah,
make it a date.
Yep, Dino's for lunch. So just hit all the spots, and I need to get Linda money still.
I do too, actually. Now that you say that, honestly, I just realized you sent it to me the other day. I got to pay Larry $90 this week too, because for the veterans thing. I don't know if you guys are bowling
Veteran
with him or
tournament.
not for that. Are you bowling with him for that or no?
We haven't figured it out yet. It depends on when Chris leaves. I think we could only bowl the last weekend.
Okay. I'm bowling because that's literally the only weekend I can bowl because of Raylan's gymnastics. But I'm good to get out of here. Are you good to get out of here?
Yep. John
All right.
said it starts at 6:30, 4 games of qualifying, cut to top 6.
Oh, that wouldn't be bad. I would consider that. We can talk about it.
Yep. We might head out and watch anyway. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an excuse to eat there. But Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy holidays. If you don't celebrate Christmas, Happy New Year. Look forward to seeing you guys all.
Hanukkah,
Yeah,
whatever.
Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, everything. Look forward to seeing you all back here in about a month. We haven't taken this long of a break in a while, but it's going to be nice to recharge the battery, spend some time with some family, get the new set going and everything like that.
Yep.
So
Brand new look.
Yep. Brand new look. Same show, brand new look. So,
Oh yeah, both. Did you?
What?
So you got those signs in? Could show them.
Yeah, I could have showed the signs off, but we'll keep y'all in suspense. We got some cool, fun little background signs. So
looking forward to it. Can't wait. But you guys all rock. We appreciate the support in 2023, not only for this show, but for Luke's channel and the Doggo stream, everybody's done in 2023. It's been a great year.
Yep.
I'm thankful for all of you and you and Angel as well. So thank you guys.
Yeah. Everything's it's been a good year. So
yeah, agreed.
Hopefully it'll keep getting better. So
double that. So all right, let's skedaddle. I'll see you tomorrow night.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
All right, guys. Till next time.